So I've been making videos on this channel talking about my experience studying computer science. I made an honest review about it. I made a video titled "Should you study computer science?" and I made a day in the life video showing a day in the life studying computer science. But am I actually using my degree now that I've graduated from university? What's up guys, welcome to my channel. If you're new here, this channel is all about career, university and lifestyle. As you might be able to tell by my voice, I am a little bit stuffy, but that's not going to stop me from making another YouTube video for you guys. Yes, I've got you covered. But in today's video, I wanted to talk a little bit personally about whether I'm actually using my degree in computer science, or if I've left it, or if I'm ever going back to it, or you know, there are many questions that could be asked and you might be wondering, okay, now that I've finished my degree in computer science, what am I doing now? Because if you follow me closely, you'll see that I'm working in real estate, I talk about law, I talk about these other things, but they're not computer science. So let me talk to you about why I'm leaving the field of computer science, at least for now, and let me share my reasons with you. And I think you might find them quite interesting. So before we get into the video, if you could subscribe to my channel, we are like 20 something away to 1,000 subscribers. So please hit that subscribe button. Also, if you could hit the like button and leave a comment down below, that really helps this channel out so that I can continue making content that you like. That would be much appreciated. But let's get straight into it. So on the screen, you should now see a few questions that I'm going to answer in this video. And the aim here is to give you my perspective in terms of my computer science degree and career path, just so that if you're studying computer science or you're thinking of studying computer science, you can get a perspective that is different to the, let's say, traditional get a computer science degree to go into a tech job after university. Because that's not always the case, as I will now show you. So the first question is, why did I study computer science in the first place? So most people will tell you, and most people are correct, that having a computer science degree is a very valuable degree to have. It shows that you are competent and confident around computers. It shows that you have an analytical mind, and it shows that you are good at problem solving. So taking these points into consideration, before I went to university, I knew that if I had a computer science degree, that would be good for me later on. But another reason why I decided to study computer science was because when I was in school and sixth form, which if you're American, is basically year 12 and year 13, so you're between the ages of 16 and 18. During all of that time for me, computer science was my favorite subject at school, especially when I was in secondary school. And the two main reasons that drew me to computer science in the first place were, one, the fact that learning about the maths side of computer science, it all felt very relevant in today's world. And then the second reason was the fact that programming can be a very creative activity to do. So putting those two things together, I knew that if I had to go to university, the subject that I would most likely choose is computer science. So that's what I did. So that brings us on to the second question, which is, why am I leaving the field of computer science? Well, there's one caveat, and I wouldn't really say that I'm leaving it completely. It's not like I'm now going to forget everything that I've learned about computer science and just move on with my life. No, not at all. I think what happened with me was when I was doing my degree, I realized that yes, computer science can be quite fun, but I don't really have a passion for it. And doing something like programming, I couldn't see myself doing on a daily basis or for a career. But that's not to say that I find programming boring. Not at all. Like, I do think it can be very enjoyable, especially when you solve real problems through programming. But I just didn't like the idea of doing it as a career. And one thing that I actually heard, which I picked up from a TikTok, I can't remember the name of the person who made this on TikTok, but he was a software engineer, and he was talking about the fact that if you work in that industry as a software engineer, there is pressure on you to be constantly reading up on new programming techniques and new technology in that field. And when I heard that, it kind of just reinforced the idea that no, I don't want to be doing that 24/7. You know, if I was a software engineer, I would want to just program for the time that I need to program, and then when I go home, just do something else like YouTube or just something people orientated. But if I felt as though there was pressure in my job to read up about programming or coding or difficult mathematical problems, then no thank you. I'm not interested. But that's not to say that that's not cool, it's just not for me. Just not for me. Alright, so if I'm not going to go into the computer science field and I'm not really interested in reading up about computer science 24/7, then what exactly has my degree done for me? And honestly, I believe that it's done quite a few cool things for me. The first thing is the fact that I actually have a computer science degree, which, as I said earlier, is a very valuable degree to have. I also find myself being very confident around computers and picking up IT systems very quickly, whether that's something to do with programming or just a standard off-the-shelf software. Or if someone told me that they need me to make a website or need me to make an app, I feel quite confident that I'll be able to help out in that situation. And I believe that my computer science degree has aided me in building up that skill and confidence. But another thing that my computer science degree has brought me is the opportunity to go into different career paths. So as some of you might be aware, I'm going to go into law. And even though I didn't study law, which you might assume that you need to do. I mean, you do need to study law, but you don't need to do a 3-year law course in order to become a lawyer. You can do a conversion course, which is the route that I'm taking. So even though I didn't study law, the fact that I've got a computer science degree allows me to apply for job roles that are typically associated with requiring a degree. So if you look at most summer internships or vacation schemes for law firms or placements or things like that, many of them require that the applicant is on track for at least a 2-1 in their chosen degree subject. And so if I didn't have a computer science degree or any degree, these opportunities would probably be harder for me to access. But I guess most importantly, the fact that I've got a computer science degree allows me to apply to tech jobs if I wanted to. That option is there if you have a computer science degree. You know, I think aiming to be in a position where you're able to maximize your opportunities is a great thing. And so I believe that if you have a computer science degree and you do not intend to go into a computer science field after university, you're in a position where you still have the opportunity to do so. And even if you applied elsewhere, if you've got a good university grade, it shows that you're competent in a technically demanding field. And that's a great thing. So the next question is, what career path am I actually going into? Well, at the moment I'm working in real estate, but that's temporary. So the actual career path that I'm going to go into is commercial law. So yeah, it is a bit of a switch, but one thing that some people don't realize is the fact that the intake of many law firms is usually 50% are law graduates and 50% are non-law graduates. So it isn't an uncommon thing for someone who is not studying law to become a lawyer. I mean, yes, they do need to do a conversion course. That is a requirement, but it's not uncommon for someone with a non-law undergraduate degree going into law afterwards. But just to give you a light answer in terms of why I decided to go into law, it all began by knowing people who were doing vacation schemes, which if you don't know is like an internship at a law firm. So yeah, I knew a few people doing vacation schemes at really good law firms, and I always wanted to see what that was actually like. You know, I came from a computer science background and I was thinking about the sector of investment banking as a career, but I wanted to open myself up a little bit more to the idea of law because that was quite new to me. And so after reading up about it, and I actually did a virtual program, I started to think, okay, maybe this is something that I could do. And later on I applied to a vacation scheme myself and I managed to get into the vacation scheme, and so my understanding of what a career in commercial law could look like started to improve, and I could start to see myself actually being a lawyer. I liked the fact that it was very business focused. I liked the fact that it actually used the law. I liked the fact that it was very intellectually stimulating, especially by the fact that commercial lawyers will be advising their clients about the law and providing them legal solutions in such a way that they use the law to maximize their client's business success. And when you delve into that, that is very intellectually stimulating. And I also like the fact that commercial law is very people focused, and it requires good relationship management, it requires the ability to socialize well, and it requires you to provide a first-class service for your clients, which is the case in other industries as well. But putting all of those points together in a high-level sense, that really attracted me to commercial law. And so what I realized is that if you are a very entrepreneurial minded person, commercial law is a great career path to go down, and it's a career path that allows you to solve many difficult problems. So yeah, that's part of the reason why I was quite attracted to commercial law. So I guess you might be wondering then, Mr. Montero, if I went back in time, would I have chosen to study law over computer science? And the answer to that is no. I am very glad that I went to university to study computer science. I wouldn't swap my computer science degree for another degree. I would, however, still study law, which is what I'm going to do. But I'm very grateful for the fact that I actually have a computer science degree and that I went through that experience. The final question, would I actually recommend someone to study computer science? And I would say yes. I think having a computer science degree is a very valuable degree to have. And even if you don't feel as though you're going to go into computer science as a career, but you enjoy it and you could see yourself studying it, then I would highly recommend that you go ahead with it. Other degrees could also work, like physics or engineering or maths or any of these other STEM subjects. But personally, I favor computer science. Computer science, yeah, computer science. But yeah, I hope me answering these questions gives you some insight and helps you out with the career path or study path that you want to take. And if you have any questions, do leave them in the comments below. But like I said earlier, please hit that subscribe button. We're nearly at 1,000 subscribers. And I guess I'll see you guys next time for another video.